Hey, what's up, you guys? I'm back with another story time. Another why I didn't get hired video. My eyelash just fucked up in this video too. I just filmed a video in this same shirt. I don't really think that y'all should give a fuck, but in case you do, I'm sorry. I'll try harder to change my clothes, but tonight I'm just not really feeling it. I'm just not really feeling it. Alright, so we just gonna jump right into it. Today is the story time of why I didn't get hired at Carmax. Alright, so Carmax. So this is after the fucking pandemic had hit. We're like a year into the pandemic, so you know those unemployment benefits, they stopped rolling through. So I'm like, alright, it's time for me to get a job. So I applied for Carmax, and they emailed me, set up an interview, whatever. So I'm like, alright, cool. Which is like, and I was actually really excited for Carmax because, Carmax is better than like fast food, which I was used to. And as I said before, I told myself I was never gonna work at fast food again. So yeah, so I got in the Carmax job, and I felt like that was like kind of a big girl job, like a little bit of a big girl job, because I knew that they would pay more than like anything that I had ever worked in before. So I was excited for this, and I felt like this was really gonna get my shit together. So this time I don't smoke before I go to the interview, which is good. I didn't smoke before I went to the interview, nothing. I had no problems, whatever. I think maybe it was just the nerves. But even before that, they had given me 2 phone interviews previous to me going to the 3rd interview. So right off rip, they knew they was gonna waste my fucking time, because they had me interview with this one nigga, and he was like the morning shift, and I had wanted to work the night shift. So I had interviewed with him over the phone, and then he had asked me, the basic questions, name a time this, name a time this, name a time this, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm killing this shit, this is easy. And you're like, you know what, let me have somebody from 2nd shift or whatever shift, to interview. So I'm like, alright. He's like, okay, so they're gonna give you a call later today. Can you give me a time that you're available? And I give him the time that I was available. So this lady, she calls me again at later in the afternoon, and I answer the call, and I really don't even know if this is a man or a woman on the fucking phone call. So I can't be really respectful and be like, oh yes, I just don't know if this is a man or a woman, because the way that just sounds. So this bitch asked this woman asked me the exact same questions that the last dude asked me. And she's like, if it's quiet on the phone, I'm just taking notes on what you're saying, whatever. So I'm like, alright, that's fine. So, of course, I'm giving her the same damn answers that I gave the guy before me, because it's the same questions. You want me to come up with all these different scenarios? First of all, I don't even have enough experience. I have experience, but I just don't have that many stories of these scenarios that you want me to give you. You know what I'm saying? So the fuck, what am I supposed to tell this bitch? So I ended up making up some shit. But it wasn't oh, I was making up some shit to where I wouldn't remember. It was I was making up shit that had actually happened. I was making up shit that I had already been through, but I was just twisting the story to make it sound more complicated and more better than what it was. So she's like, so I finished the interview. It's a bunch of questions. It was 20 minutes on the phone. She was like, okay, so I actually want to interview her in person. So I'm like, alright, cool. So this I'm locked in. I just had 2 interviews on the phone. I'm about to go to my 3rd interview when I pull up to Carmax. Alright, so the day that I'm supposed to interview for Carmax come, boom, I'm there, I'm on time, and I'm I'm there, I'm on time. I walk into the building, everybody is ignoring me, like I'm dead ass just standing there waiting for somebody to say, like, hey, like, what you want, like, why you here? Like, I'm literally standing in front of the fucking class, like, I'm literally at the fucking desk, just standing there waiting, and everybody's just fucking ignoring me, like, what the fuck, like, bitch, you see me? What if I needed to buy a $50,000 car? You would've just lost a customer. Anyway, so finally, I'm like, excuse me, to the person, to the people who was behind the counter. That was just talking, you know, doing whatever. I'm like, excuse me, I got an interview with so-and-so. And they're like, oh, okay, like, let me go get her. They're like, just sit right here, and we'll go and get her. So I'm like, alright. And you know, it's just so awkward when you just sit somewhere and you got a job interview, because you know you're really not even supposed to be on your phone when you want to talk. So should I be on my phone waiting for this bitch? I didn't know. I just didn't know. I never know, but I do it anyway. But she had taken, of course, like 10-15 minutes to come and get me. I don't know why the fuck they were doing that. Like, are they trying to size me up? Like, why do they fucking do that? Every time that you got an interview somewhere, they always just have you sit there for like 50 fucking minutes. Like you ain't got no life, like you ain't got shit to do after. Anyway, the bitch come and get me, and she takes me behind the counter into this room, and then this girl also comes, this woman, and she's like, hey, like, this is blah blah blah, she's here, you know, we're gonna alternate questions. And I'm thinking, alright, cool, like whatever. Bro, they start asking me questions. When I say it's the exact same 50 fucking questions that they asked me over the phone, bro, that shit irritated the fuck. I was like, what the, bro. So you don't waste. So first of all, I haven't wanted an interview, okay? I haven't wanted an interview, and that's fine. Two, okay, I'm thinking, I have the second interview. I'm thinking, all right, like this is a new introvert person. This is the person I'm about to work with. So she want to ask me questions. See what my response is. Okay, that's cool. I'm thinking they about to ask me some brand new fucking questions. It's the same bitch that I interviewed with on the second call, by the way. It's the same female that I interviewed with. She asked me the exact same questions that I answered twice before. Like, what the? I already gave you the answer. What you want me to do? Come up with 50 other fucking scenarios? First of all, I didn't even have a scenario the first time you asked me the damn question. So anyway, she asked me these questions, and one of the questions had been, name a situation, a scenario that you've been in where you had like a disagreement. What was the question? It was like name a time where there was miscommunication and how did you resolve it, blah blah blah. By the way, they had all these questions, and all these questions had like 50 fucking parts. It would be like, name a time that this happened, how did you feel, how did that person feel, where did you go after you went to work, and all this shit. Like, bitch, how the fuck am I supposed to remember all that shit? How the fuck am I supposed to remember the 50 fucking part question that you just asked me? How the fuck do they expect me to first of all, in my head, I gotta come up with an answer, right? And if I can't come up with an answer, I gotta lie, right? And after I lie, I gotta figure out the other fucking 3 parts of the goddamn question. Why do they do that shit? Like, what the fuck? So that entire interview, I'm thinking, I was like, is there a second part? Is there a third part? After I answered the first part, because that's the only shit I can remember. Anyway, so this is the part that really just did not give me the job, okay? She had asked me, name a time where you had gotten into there was a misunderstanding with a customer or some shit. So I tell her the story time of the time that this bitch at Burger King, this customer at Burger King, was cussing me out because we had changed the sizes on the ices. Cause bitch, I don't know. I don't have like conversational things. I just told her the time where I wanted to fight a fucking customer at the drive-through because that's all I could think of in that moment. Cause I had already been sitting there for a good 2 minutes trying to think. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling the story and I'm like, okay, so this lady, she comes in, like, she orders an icy and we had just changed it to where it's not 3 sizes, it's just one size. So, you know, I tell her, like, it's just one size and she's just not understanding. So I have to explain it to her in different ways for her to understand. She's catching an attitude, and at a certain point, you know, I had to get the manager. And, you know, of course, the manager, she explained it to her. She understood it. Like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, I don't come into these fucking scenarios every fucking day. Like, and I think that's really what did it for her. Like, they was like, you know what, this bitch, she's not intellectual at all. Like, she's just a dumb bitch. Like, she has to get the manager. Like that. Like, bro, I told my sister after I got out of that interview, I told my sister the story, and her ass was cracking the fuck up. And you know what the most petty part about this job interview was? Is that after the interview, they had left the room. They was like, okay, we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk in the room real quick, and we'll come back and, you know, whatever. So I'm just sitting in the room by myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there for a good, like, maybe 5 minutes. I'm sitting in that room by myself. They come back in, and she's like, follow me to the back where you'll be, you know, follow me to the back so I can show you around, whatever. I'm thinking in my head, like, wow, like, I got this job, like, I got this job. No, I didn't. They gave me a whole tour. This bitch was explaining my job test, everything. Bro, I did not get that damn job. She had given me, like, the little thing that I needed to be working in the back, whatever, and everything. And she's like, and by the time she's done showing me around and showing me, like, my job task, she's like, okay, we'll call you in a week. So I'm like, a week? Like, a week? Like, what you need a week for? Like, you just gave me a whole tour. I just did 3 fucking interviews. Like, what you need a week for to think? At that point, I was like, maybe I didn't get this job after all. So I just go to fuck home. I don't even give a fuck because I don't even want to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even want to do that shit. So I just go home, you know, I explain my interview shit to my sister. She's cracking up, like, she's dying. I'm like, you know what, I probably didn't get that job. And then, like, 2 days later, I get an email. Thank you for interviewing with us, blah, blah, blah. We have decided to pursue other candidates. So you decided to waste my fucking time. That's what that really is. You decided to waste my time. And that shit just pissed me off because they really had me do 3 fucking interviews for dead no reason. For that stupid bummy ass fucking bitch ass job, whatever. I already had other interviews, so I really didn't give a fuck that I didn't get the job, but it was just like the principle of, like, why would you have me interview 3 times if you knew you was gonna hire me? Because I gave them the exact same answers to every single question. Every single time that they fucking asked me. But anyway, yeah, that's the story. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Alright, peace out.